Taboo fam, peace and blessings. This is Derric, RauKhu more. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to actually get over your fear of the ancestors and your fear of the occult. Taboo fam, peace and blessings. This is Derric, RauKhu more. And like I said, in this video, I'm going to actually share a ritual that I wrote about in the Kamta primer that actually talks about how to actually get over your fear of dealing with the ancestors and your fear of, dealing with the cult, the whole deal. Okay. Before I go into that, before I actually explain what this ritual is, I want to go ahead and kind of give you a little bit of background information. First of all, part of the reason why a lot of people, you have this fear over, fear of your ancestors, fear about the dead, fear that, some ghost or some negative entity or some demon or something like that is going to come and get you. Is going to come and attack you, come and mess with you, or whatever the case is, because of you choosing to get involved in, honoring your ancestors or venerating your spirit guides. Part of the reason why you have this is for two reasons. The first reason is you were not taught about the law of attraction, all right? In fact, none of us were taught about the law of attraction. And because of us not being taught about the law of attraction, we don't understand that everything that exists, it basically exists in our mind. Anything that comes to us, anything that anything that comes to us, and that's whether it be good or bad, these are all things that basically were brought to us or we attracted to ourselves based upon our way of thinking. All right. And because we are not educated about that, because, this society that we live in, they focus on, they thrive on our ignorance of spiritual matters, on metaphysics, on the occult. Because of this, they basically allowed this to happen. And as a result, like I said, we attract anything and everything to us. So in regards to dealing with spirits and all that kind of stuff, in regards to having all these negative thoughts and, the belief that negative entities are going to attack us and everything, when we focus on those things, then basically we attract those things to us. Okay. So the first rule, first of all, if you're trying to go ahead and you want to deal with your ancestors, you want to honor your ancestors, or you want to, go a little bit further in the spiritual, dealing with spirituality, dealing with metaphysics, the whole deal. If you want to go a little bit further in that, you want to deal with that, the first thing you have to do is really, you got to get rid of your fear. And like I said, it's kind of easier said than done, but you got to get rid of your fear in order for you to deal with this. Okay. And like I said, that's kind of hard to do if you don't understand the first law of attraction. So the first thing you got to do, like I said, the part of the reason why you're having these issues, you're having a fear of your ancestors and all that, is basically, it is because you are attracting this based upon your thinking. Okay. Mainly because you weren't educated about the law of attraction. The second reason why you're having these issues is mainly because you're not, like I said, you're not familiar with the law of attraction. You didn't understand the law of attraction because you weren't taught about the law of attraction. you are also, the second thing is you're focusing on lower energies. Okay. Um, when I say lower energies, I'm saying, lower vibing things. Okay. Such as you may be watching horror films, or maybe a fan of watching horror films, and these horror films, they fill your mind with a whole lot of nonsense in regards to our spirituality, in regards to um, you know evil entities and all that kind of stuff attacking you and everything, just because you honor your ancestors. um, the other thing is you're dealing with some, you basically have been bombarded and conditioned to think that way because of religious reasons. Okay. A lot of religions, Christianity, Jehovah Witness, a lot of these, I would say, fundamentalist religions, um, they basically, that's one of the things in which they stress. They all stress and they all talk about the fact that, contacting or communicating with any type of spirit, other than God or other than Jehovah or Allah, is basically a sin. So this is also part of the other reason why you may be having, and you've been told this for, I don't know, you may have been told this pretty much all your life. So this is also part of the other reason why you got this hesitation against honoring your ancestors, and venerating your spirit guides. Okay, so those are the two reasons why um, you have problems when it comes to honoring your ancestors, um, or venerating your spirit guides. Those are the two main reasons that I've come across. Okay, now how do you get out of that? Well, dealing with the mind, the way in which you go ahead and you create change, you got to do something different. All right. And part of the reason why you're kind of in this way of thinking is because subconsciously, like I said, your subconscious mind is in the habit of doing things. Okay. It's in the habit. It's been programmed to do this for a long period of time. Okay. So if you think about what I was saying before about how maybe you went ahead and you were told about this from whatever religion you're in, or whatever religion you was birthed in, they went ahead and they kept telling you you can't do this, how it's a sin, how God is going to punish you, and all that kind of stuff. If you have been taught that and been told that for, like I said, at least 18 years or so, it's kind of hard to go ahead and break that. And again, that's a subconscious programming. It's inside your subconscious. So you got to find a way to go ahead and basically, get out of that conditional way of thinking. All right. So one of the ways in which I went ahead and, like I said, I put this in the Kamta primer. The whole, I guess the whole elaborate ritual, how it is done. But one of the ways in which I know that you can go ahead and you can do this, you got to create a shock to your subconscious. Okay. And the way you create a shock to your subconscious is, well, you can do it through repetition. It can be anything that is, kind of like creating like self-created trauma. Okay. Or, some type, or going into a trance state. All right. Any one of these methods, or any one of these, basically these ways, will go ahead and it will cause a shift in the way in which you're thinking, your subconscious way of thinking. Okay. It's just a matter of really finding something that will really jolt your subconscious. All right. So the one ritual I know and that I have used that will jolt your subconscious is to say the Lord's Prayer backwards. All right. Now, just the thought of that will go ahead and it'll shake your subconscious. Okay. Because of all the other, things that have been said and all that kind of stuff that have been talked about regarding the Lord's Prayer. But if you go in here and you say the Lord's Prayer, I guarantee you it will jolt your subconscious. Okay, after you've gone in here and you've said it, and you start to understand you start to understand the, I would guess you would say the ramifications of it. Then you can go back and you can actually program your subconscious to actually connecting with your higher self, connecting with your ancestors, connecting with your spirit guides from a more clean and different perspective. Okay. And the reason why, like I said, I've used this a couple of times, and you really only need to use it like once. Okay. But once you go in here and you do it, like I said, it's a very powerful ritual. Once you go in here and you do it and you connect back to your higher self, then you can go back and you can actually start talking to your higher self and communicating with your spirit, and it will guide you and allow you to connect with your ancestors and spirit guides. Okay, so like I said, keep that in mind. The things that every time you go in here and you do something that is out of the ordinary and it's a shock, it's a jolt to your subconscious, that's how you break up that program that you have been conditioned for a period of time of doing. Okay, so just wanted to go here and share that with you because I had a few people who was asking about that, asking how do you get out of that, and what about the fear and all this other kind of stuff of an entity or some other kind of some other kind of being or whatever actually coming in and taking over and all that. And like I said, this for the most part, what I found, this is all horror. It's all hype that's been created by the horror industry, the horror film industry. Never had that situation happen. I don't know of any people who've had that situation happen. And the only reason why it has happened, or I believe it does happen, or I know that it's happened, is because that's what people go in here and they attract to themselves. Okay. But if you go in here and you approach this, if you approach your ancestors and your spirit guides from the understanding that they have the best interest, they have your best interest at heart, nothing is going to come, and harm you. Okay. All right. So anyway, like I said, just wanted to go ahead and share that with you. Hopefully that helps you out. If you got any questions, feel free to drop me a line. All right. Until next time, it's approved. Peace.